Morning Show is proudly brought to you by Botswana Post. Rise and shine.
He is God by all means. He is all-knowing, all-steadfast, and all-wise, which means he is the God we can all trust. For him, he can only provide for us. It is the 13th day into the year of 2024, which means we only have 253 days more to go. It only means you only have 253 days. Ladies and gentlemen, have you done what you wanted to do or not? He's the all God that we all know. What ajalo gono gore o hile jalo tshono ya gore o bone jalo letsatsi gore le go phatsimela ro gasa jalo ka marang one a letsatsi la moso wa mosupologo go sa jalo mo mass media complex go ne mono ga borone ke re so thank you very much for tuning in. It's a kere ha o bona go ntse jana gore ajalo gono gore Dumela Botswana is back on your television. It is how you see it this morning. I am going to be with my favorite princess under the sun. Why did she choose orange on this beautiful day? Good morning, my friend.
Good morning.
Yes, exactly.
Orange for me is a nice and bright color. It's a nice way to start a Monday.
Really?
Right, yeah, to bring a splash of color. I had a wonderful weekend. I spent a lot of it go sporting.
Yes.
Gaming at GU. And then
I wonder why you're saying it with a smile. There's nothing good about
I'm just saying.
So why are you smiling?
Give him or her a hug. They need it. And then on Sunday, basketball, their league. They're in week 9. Hey, how competitive.
It's competitive. It's getting more and more competitive. I like it's coming to an end, but
yeah.
I actually love the competition of basketball.
Yeah, it's growing and I was watching 2 of the lower ranked teams,
right,
and they played really well.
Right.
Yeah.
I had a slow one.
Okay.
I got to talk about busy. Yeah, no, this weekend was like actually had a chance also watching rollers, which I didn't like the results obviously, but it is what it is.
Rollers.
Maybe I'm not a supporter, I just have a soft spot. I'll pick it over a lot of teams locally because my team is miscellaneous, it's not in the league, so I'm just moving around, not knowing what to do. So
I think this happens with a lot of people.
Yes.
Because rollers team Chiefs
yes,
and you are either one.
Yes.
And most people grew up so it's going to be a wonderful morning. I hope you are ready for a good one. We're going to have your Monday motivation. We're talking retirement. We're talking all things DBS Roadshow as we enter into the nitty-gritty of it. Boot camp, and we're giving you all the details about what you need to know.
Exactly. And on my side, the beginner threats of a broken bonds. Threats of broken bonds. Hey, this lady has been through a lot. And when I read her book, I realized I haven't been through anything. Not that I'm comparing myself to her, but I'm just saying at least God has not given me so much. Yes. And at some point, I have to be honest, I had to shed a tear here and there. And I'm thinking, how does it even happen that you lose a husband and then you don't know for the whole day?
Yeah.
And I would wonder, but I think I'm glad she'll be here to talk about it and just at least help save or inspire 1 or 2 souls.
Save or inspire 1 or 2 souls. If you are looking to save or inspire yourself into the gym, our brother Biki is waking us up this morning with a strength training workout. Let's get fit with Bipomas.
Welcome to Get Fit with Bipomas. My name is Biki. Our today's session is a strength training. So there is a weight. So if you don't have weight, Normally, you encourage about water bottles or your broomstick. So I will take this as a broomstick, I guess. So now I'm going to use this, but if you don't have anything like this, just find something else you can use just to hold, especially when you do the squats and all that, okay? Before we start, are you guys ready? So, just right here. Let's go, guys. Keep going, keep going, keep going. So you go, you go, you go, you go, you go, you go, you go. Come on, let's have fun. Fun, 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 fun. And one, relax. Let's go. Stretch, 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 the stretch. Okay, now, right here, our first exercise, you're gonna do squats with shoulder press. So, you're gonna go one, hold, then take it up, okay? Let me face this way. 4, 3, 2, go. 1, up. You push your bounce back. Watch my back. Let's go. I'm right here. Take it up. All the way down. Bend your knees. Back straight. Push your bounce back. Then you go. Let's go. Easy. Take it down. All the way. Let's go. Push it down. Up. And 4, 3, 2, and relax. Okay. Now, let's go down here. You give me lunges, okay? So, I'm gonna face there. Again. 4, 3, 2, you go. Right here. Hop. Okay. Let's go. Up. Just bend both legs. And chest out. 90 degrees. Let's go. Take it down. Let's go. All the way. Let's go. Push it. Go down as far as you can. But if you can't go down that low, 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 because some of you guys like me, now. So you hold somewhere and that's it. 4, 3, 2, and relax. Okay. Now you're gonna give me deadlift and upright rows. So you go all the way down, then up. Fair, leg straight. You just push your bums back. Here. Then push it. Let's go. Down. Up. We go. Take it down. Let's go. Together, guys. Okay? You can add calves raise there on your toes. Now work. Hop. Take it down. Push your bums back. Go. Up. And shoulders. Let's go. Yeah. Hop. Take it up, guys. Let's go. Push it. Up. Let's go. Up. Down. Up. We go. Hop. Yes. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. And thank you, guys. That was good. Well done, guys. So just go on to Bipoma's page anytime and do all these exercises, okay? You can train at your own time, anyway, any day. If you feel ordering this time, it's late enough for you, or you find we get there is a okay.
Ke se ka se ke go dumisa ya lo mo tsatshelone hele la musupolo go tle re gona ha re bile dikgang tsa metshameko se di farologaneng re simola ka go lebella lo tsa netball a re samara ntse ra go lebella se dingwe gape se di amanyalo mosamko ne ele wa dance e ne tsoleselo ka mafelo a biki gone ya ka go SSG ka go gareng ga tse dingwe tse di tshwereng gone ha ke mosamko yana Botswana Premier League ga go gola gore ne gona le mosamko o motona a o no tsolese ya lo wa derby yone hele ya ga borona ra tla hetalo ka madu re heta ya lo ka dino gore di tsena ka tselentse jam a me gareng ga tse dingwe gape tse di tshwereng gone ha ke mosamko yone English Premier League e tsoletseng ka tsamantse hotela ya lo mme no gona ya lo le motshameko wa FA Cup o ile gona gore LB ga batlu bua ka one thata Dumela ke mtsa ke bena se fema ga ke no skena LB hi
Good morning.
how's it
Hi, ke mathata.
hey ke
Utaro supporta team. Kantu ipolaisa moralo.
Tsanko guys
Utaro ipolaisa moralo. Ah mathata a botshelo re a tlhakanela menu ke mathata hela we.
ke re ke imagine o le mogana se a bona mo Kaizer Chiefs a bona mo menu
Bona morala.
a bona mo Barcelona a bona mo rola I know someone re dire ka tselentse jana re simola ka go lebella tsone ele sa netball metshameko yone ya Lukara Netball League ne tshole se ya loka mafelo a biki ka kwa no borwa ga mogalo le ka go bokone ka kwa metlo tsa mantre lebella ya lo madio ga madio a leng gore tsa marantse ra tshwere gone ha ke madio a tlhapa tsone sele ele sa police ka na matsoletse ya lo ba thulana tlhapa sa presence re bona ya lo tlhapa sa police ba gona gore motshameko ka 55-25 ile motshameko o no ka go le tlhakoreng la bomme mme motshameko mongwe gape ntse ka go bomme ne re bona ya lo BDF Cats ba gona gore ba fenya ya lo Stapa sa notwane ka 62-35 mme go le tlhakoreng la borre gone ne re bona ya lo Vipers ba na matsama ba ntse ba khona go fenya tata ne ba sa fenye ne ba fengwa ke police ya lo ka 35-26 mme go le tlhakoreng la bo mentse le motshameko yone ile ya netball ne re bona ya lo setlhapa sa go joining ka kwa ba fenya ya lo UB Crystals ka 48-32 ha just pass yone ba tsama ba ntse ba fenya ya lo setlhopha ka re ba fengwa ya lo ke Vipers ka 37-23 ile motshameko one ile wa bomme ke motshameko mengwe ene ntse tshamkiwa ya lo ele ya Lukara e tsoleseng ya lo ka mafelo a beki mele ga le tla ka tselentseng jana re tshwere ha ba katisi ba setlhopha sone ele sa police ga mogo ya lo le setlhopha sa presence ba gore ba buile ka tselentseng jana mora ga metshameko yone ele ya mafelo a beki.
Oh, well, we lost the game to a better side. I would say in the first place, that's what we do. But at the end of the day, one would say, I'm still working with the kids, trying to get them exposed and so that they can gain experience. And otherwise, I can't. The dominance of police, they have a lot of experienced players. And much of it, the world defense was working much harder than our defense because they've got experience more than ours.
Gompieno le go ta go le ka di-combination tse e leng gore ga ise ke tshameng ka tshwane go thelele since ke simolla di-game playera tsa tse dingwe di mo injuring and o mongwe o ile Singapore, so I was trying those combination and they worked. I'm very proud because game plan ya me e berekile.
Bakatisi ba tlhapa tsentse tsa police ga mogalo le presence ba tsama ba bua gona gore ba itemogetseng ha re bua ka netball ba ngwe ba thankgotso ya lo malo ba mo pusong and it was a shocker.
Yeah, I think everyone, even the media, was not expecting it. If the people by lengore ba tsere puso gompieno, they kept it very quiet and in argo AGM
got a motion of no confidence.
Ga vote a motion of no confidence batho ba ntshiwa mo
President
le president gompieno ga ke sure gore ke mang secretary general ke batho ba ile gore ga isere tle go ba tlaela, but it's new leadership and if that's what Bona wants, that's what Bona will get and the rest of us just need to get on board and learn. Jaka bona metshameko e tsweletse ga gona sepe se ile gore se hetogile, they are continuing. The problem is obviously going to be the handing over process. A di kontraka di a go explain you jaka di ntse, are they going to even be handed copies of these contracts so that as the league continues, as partnerships continue in smooth sailing, kana le bona ba tla ba simula go zero hela jaka ba ne ba tsaya ka ngwaga wa 2019, if I remember correctly. So we've got some of these issues. But listen, the players are playing. Yeah, police.
Singapore.
Singapore. Netball on it.
Yeah. Ara samo netball. Ara kum sam kong adija. So ili kono lo ne no sele sialo kako SSG. Kama felo abeker bona slapa sa police. Baka na korba finga yalo. Me sam ko ya bona masana kono korba. Temke. Bukwa tata ba simotse yalo bukwa me ba khona tsama bantse ba fenya motshamko wa bone ka 9-6 mo motshamko le khona gore ga o lebile yalo eno motshamko ya yalo ka round robin re bona yalo ba sa elite mo opening set ya 21-15 to tsama dintse di regala yalo ba khona gore ba fenya motshamko ka 5-0 best 1-1 kana wa 5-0 best 1-1 ile motshamko no ile wa adita tsona tshole yalo ile ka ko SSG ka kwa go ikutlela khona gore bone jaaka liki ya bone tsholetse mantse khatlise ya lo ba di data tsa mantse ba itemogala eng
Some gompieno tsamaile sentle but I was tsamaya according to my expectation, knowing and understanding how strong is my team, but the performance was a bit low today, even though they won, but I trust they could have done much better than that.
Match was a tila gompieno o no le bokete tota la go bua nnete politique engwe team tse di thata e le gore thata le mo leaking ntse ela e dominator le dingwa tse di season tse di hamara tse di hitileng mme hela ka bokuswana ga ora ela kare game ya rona go di singileng re kgona go kgobokanya dintlha mo di singileng gona le ko di double tsa rona di samkile bokwa hela thata ka gore ga ra kgona go kokwanya le highlight point e mo hela mo di double mo e leng gore tla tshwana thata gore re boe re berekele mo di double combination ya rona di double re ke go e bona gore re seka ya re bakanya ka tselentseng ja
tota seemo se re le mo go sone ka gona le team ya BDF e leng gore nako le nako e nna re tswa number 2 ya yone maikelo a rona ngwaga o ga re batle gore ba ye go bona position 1 tota e batlwa ke rona ngwaga ene se re duma sa teng re batla go se tsholetsa ga re batle go lusela le game e pe wow
o tsere motshameko di datse e tshamkela kae wa itsake
yes mo mahelong
a go nwa di thank you ne ke go ra se go ya ne go ra ke re mapodisi you know police didats
ke ba mo di
ara tsa motshameko ya didats re go lebela le motshameko yene ele ya kgwele ya dina go tsena gore re bone ya le motshameko ya First Division South e ne tshwele siam ka mafelo a beke ga ga motshameko ene ntse le teng ke setlhopha sa Center Chiefs ba thulana le setlhopha sa Notwane re bona yalo Center Chiefs ba tsena mo motshameko neo ba tsena go gapelo yalo dintlha di le nne ka ntlha gore bone ya di team tse dingwe di busialo 10% ya di gate takings tsa bone ba ikentsha mo teng gape bana yalo le di game tse 4 ba sa busialo madiao so ba ntsheditse yalo 4 points ke ba kgona go fenya yalo ka mafelo a beke ka nno ya ga jeki tapologo ya kana tsa mantse a netatsa le gona gore ba tsaya yalo 3 points mme ka tla gore go dira ka tselentseng jana re go utlwa yalo ba katisi gore ba reng pele ga re tsa marentse re garela gore madio amafelo a beke a tsamile ka tsela entseng jam
Notwane, they were cautious in the first half. They were defending deep, just above their 18-yard box, and I thought we didn't manage to take the advantage and make combination play in front of the box and take more shots outside the box. We didn't do that. We wanted to go wide and bring in crosses, which made it very easier for them to just hit the back. Look, we just a long shot. If we had frequency in doing that, taking long shots, I think we could have gotten more goals.
We were first half. I think what happened, we were much deeper, especially one of my midfielders who was supposed to be more attacking. Therefore, it ended up making we didn't have to press them when the time allowed. That's why the goal that was scored, he scored us just from the center line, is because that's why we wanted more of our midfield to do the pressing. But we were not there, we were much deep. That's how we ended up conceding the game. But second half we came up very much stronger, created chances, but we missed a lot. We missed a lot of the chances. But credit to the boys, they were fighting all out to take the team from the relegation zone, but we still have hope.
Arsame re garela ya lo madio a mangwe a mafelo a beke le gona go sala simolana tsilele e lela la botlhano re bona setlhopha sa Young Stars ba fengwa lo ke setlhopha ba fengya setlhopha sa extension kana ska dino tse pedi go lefela mosamko mo gape no thulantsa le setlhopha sa Desert Ngau ba thulana Mogodisane fight sa re bona yalo stoppa sa detsa ngau ba fika ka dino senne go tsepedi presence yone ba tsamke yalo maleka a 0-0 le Tlokwe United Union Flamingo Santos bana ba fika yalo stoppa sa City Pola ka dino tsepedi go ile ngwe Black Forest ba tsamke yalo maleka a 1-1 le stoppa sa UB Hawks mora ga metsamko yene tla re lebelle yalo ra update yalo the lock stand go re etsa maeme ka tselentse nya stoppa sa Young Stars a santse ba go godimo yalo ka 40 points me Flamingo Santos mo maemong a bobedi bana 33 points City Pola mo maemong a boraro ba tsama bantse ba ikgobakang tsialo go dintlha tse di masome a mararo UB Hawks yone e mo sport number 4 bana 26 points stoppa sa yone ba sa ba bantse ba iphitlhela ba le mo sport number 5 bana le 24 points mo maemong a borataro ke setlhopha sa Prisons bana le 24 points le bone me setlhopha sa TU Tlokwe United ba mo sport number 7 ba iphitlhela bana le 23 points Black Forest ba mo sport number 8 ba iphitlhela lo bana le 19 points ba etela ke setlhopha sone seo ele sa extension kana se ba ile gore bone bana yalo le 18 points mo position 10 gona le setlhopha sa Notwane bana yalo le 17 points mo go yone ba iphitlhela lo ba le mo sport number 11 ka 15 points a that's ngau a santse ba se go ga kana ba di go ga le ko mo gatleng mo sport number 12 ka 14 points ke tsone tsong ele tsa First Division South tse di tsole sealo ele ka mafelo a big re ka tselentse jana re ta go le gone ka konno ka kwa ra go garela madio gona go ra tsemele ka tselentse jang albe
yes First Division no felone ntse tsweletse re bona ile gore re boetse Santa Green ine a khona go betsa bailo ba makungulu peswa ka dino tse pedi go lefela Mbalaka Lungu FC itewa jalo ke Calendar Stars ka noele nngwe go lefela Motlakase 2 Green Lovers 1 metsa botlhe ite Pacemakers ka noele nngwe go lefela BR Highlanders 2 Sankoyo Bushbucks 0 Mepiliko United yone ya bona e latlhegetse ba itebagantse jalo le Chadibe FC ba wina jalo 1-0
ara update lo re bona gore moraga metsamko yene o etsamkileng yalo ka mafelo a beke tsa mantsi ka tselentseng jam stapa sa Motlakase Power Dynamos sa tsentse ba le mo sport number 1 bana lo 34 points ba ma bobedi yone gona le setlhopha sa BR Highlanders se mo sport number 2 ka 29 points Sanko Bushbucks ba mo maemong a boraro bana lo le 28 points le bone me mo maemong a bone go sa magona le setlhopha sa Chadibe FC bana lo le 28 points ba le kana le setlhopha se mo maemong a botlhano sa Calendar Stars ba ile gore le bone bana ya lo le 28 points mo sport number 6 gona ya lo le tsa botlhe bana lo 27 points followed by setlhopha sa Mbalaka Lungu ta setlhopha sa Santa Green ke bona ba mo position 7 ka 26 points me mo stopping kana mo maemong a bora ba bobedi ke setlhopha sa Mbalaka Lungu ba ile gore bona ba lo 22 points maemo a bora ba bongwe gona le setlhopha sa Peacemakers ba lo 20 points Green Lovers ba mo sport number 10 ba iphitlhela yalo bana lo le 20 points Green Lovers ba mo sport number 10 bana 18 points 11 ke makungulu peso 17 points me kotla se galo ko ene a gona le setlhopha sa Piliko United ba ile gore bone ba tsama ba iphitlhela lo bana ya lo le 15 points ke mtsamko yone ele ya First Division North ya ka ntse tsele se yalo ka gone ka ko bokone ka kwa ga re tswa gone ho re tsama ra go lebella yalo mtsamko ele ya Botswana Premier League re simola ka motsamko ile gona gore no thulantse yalo di sala mapatsa Gaborone re bona setlhopha sa Gaborone United mo motshameko ngwe ile gona gore ne re bona yalo go balatedi gone ka ko me re bona setlhopha sa Gaborone United ba no sa nno yentle ya ga danger tlhalefang wa re scotcha no e le gona gore ha tsa mantsi le bile yalo mo number kana mo mtsetsong wa bo 12 me re bona yalo mo mtsetsong ya bo hello setlhopha sone sa Gaborone United ba no sa nno ya bobedi ne tsa mantsi ni so yalo ke mpho slider khaswane go neta tsa le gona gore setlhopha sone seo sa Gaborone United ba ikgapela yalo 3 points but close yalo the gap between bona le setlhopha sone seo ele sa Township Rats ke yo no ya ga mpho khaswane ya tsama antse a no sa ya mo motshamkong one wa ile gona gore the city was painted red this weekend. I'll be
first of all the traffic in stadium was insane and I love to see that Botswana ne ba tsile tota ga ke itse gore di organizer ba Botswana Premier League ne ba solohetse dipalo tse di kana everyone was there, the minister was there, everyone
Ke bone
attended this
Morigino
match.
a tile yalo ka stopper sa gagwe gone ka kwa.
Yeah,
A
tsa
tile
bana.
ba bana ba gago ba tile gone ka kwa. And amongst other people ba le gore ke ba bone ka kwa ke di journalists tsa kwa Africa Borwa ga re ga bone ke bone yalo wa tile Jacobs go tsala go slopeng gona ka Communicating FM ka kwa ke dingwe tsa mantse go ngere di timela gore okay so JB a rena e khona go interest
ka batho ba mahatse a sele le ga ile ka gore gate di botoka di tswa mo go bone tla re utlwe gore bone ne ba di bona jang.
Failed to perform. In fact, not performing, to score. We were scored early in first half. We consider late in second half. You are bound to lose. You are bound to lose. They had a good game. They played well as well. Fine. Let them get the 3 points and go. We will go back and readjust.
Re itumeletse maduo, re itumeletse motshameko, re itumeletse performance ya rona. Re dirile se ne re tshwantse re se dire le go fenya motshameko. It's something that we normally work on. We try to press, and even when we lose the ball, we try to counter press. That's what we work on. We worked on, and we did that, and then we had a turnover there, and then it was a pass. It was a ball through to him, and then he finished very well.
Ele mokatiso sa pasone so sa bona thata pontsho piro mulo ya bualo ka motshameko mele gale ga sone hela motshameko no tsele salo ka mafelo a big le tsere bona yalo so tlapasa security systems ba thula lo sa pasa bidya fotsa ma bantse ba tshameka yalo maleka zero khone ka kolo ba tseka kwa mo motshameko le gona gore look at this LB look at this o soletse go le gontsi ya le gona gore
sa wena
a sa bantse ba bisa sa pasone so sa bidya fo lu ya rasela itse gore team o ka e dira ka tselentse ja mo ikutlwele go tsa mantsa bua re moraga motshameko no wa tsela maabani.
Everything is done accordingly. The last thing doesn't work. They played so well. Department is all. And it's pressure, we are bound. We are bound to crack. We are bound to somewhere, somehow. Somewhere, to relate. Because we've created, nothing's coming. Product
We played a team that was desperate to collect 3 points. First half, we failed to deal with a lot of long balls because they wanted an early goal. They wanted to unsettle us. But the second half, we sat down and said, okay, because they are playing a lot of long balls, let us go and fight for the first ball and immediately win the second ball. Hence, you saw we were able to turn the possession and face their goal post. But it's a game that we can't be too hard on ourselves. We are from a loss, Orange FA. So collecting a point away, it's something we'll need this point going forward.
Lefty botlhatse ga mo ya lo mokatiso sa pasone sa BDF Nelson Luis Tshwana ba bua lo ka mosangwa tsela maabane mele gale a re tsomo ga ire ko Africa Borwa re go lebela yalo motshameko yene ya the DCV Premiership before re lebela yalo motshameko ya EPL re tabogela re lebela gona gore Golden Arrows ba tshamekile yalo 1-1 le sotlhapa sa Royal AM Sekhukhune United sone ba no tshameka yalo le Cape Town Spurs yalo Sekhukhune ba tsama ba fenya motshameko ka nno elengwe go lefela Orlando Pirates ba fenya yalo AmaZulu ka nno elengwe go lefela SuperSport United ba fengwa yalo ke Chipa United mo tsela maabane tata Chipa sone so Chipa United mo ba fenya yalo ka dino tse pedi go lefela mme re bone yalo a mo motshameko tsela maabane Richards Bay ba nota yalo Kaizer Chiefs ka nno elengwe go lefela Polokwane City le Cape Town City ba tshameka yalo maleka a 2-2 Tears Galaxy yone ba fengwa yalo ke Stellenbosch ka tse pedi go elengwe ha re tso ka Africa Borwa ra ko EPL yalo Albe.
Absolutely right. English Premier League week 34, and this week it was some big games. Brentford 5, Luton Town 1. Burnley ita Sheffield United ka no tse nne go engwe Arsenal 2 Wolves 0 mme ka Sontaga Everton ita jalo Nottingham Forest ka di no tse pedi go lefela Aston Villa 3 Bournemouth 1 Crystal Palace igore 5 ba tshameka yalo le West Ham ile gore kgonne go gora tse pedi hela mme Liverpool yone ya gona go ita yalo Fulham ka di no tse tharo go le engwe jaaka o bona ra tswella ka la bobedi yana
le la bora
Gore go bola every day.
Don't. Me khale ga se yone hela metshameko ene ne tshweletse yalo ile ka mafelo a beke o itse gore that was the big one mo tsitsila mabane bosigo before robala re bona yalo setlhopha sa Real Madrid ga mogalo le Barcelona mo motshameko ngwe ile gona gore ene le wa El Clasico re bona setlhopha sa Barcelona bana ba eteletse pele motshameko no mme Real Madrid ba boa go morago ya ba gona gore fenya yalo ka dino tsa tharo go tsepetse Almeria bone motshameko yalo le Villarreal entse mo tsilone la mabane re bona Almeria ba fenya yalo ka dino tse pedi go ile ngwe re bona Alaves ba fenya yalo Atletico Madrid ka tse pedi go le fela mme re bona le Getafe ba tshameka yalo Real Sociedad ba tshameka yalo maleka a 1-1 mme le gale e tla khantele gone ha bertsa marentse re bua yalo di kgantse di buya gone yalo gone ka go badminton ka kone bona yalo le the tournament ha mo go yalo le go bona gore king se go tsama bantsi ba tsama re ka se solohela yalo gone ka kwa association ya bona until then tla ba ga go bona yalo khantele Albi what do we have for us?
We are going straight into your traffic update, so stay tuned after this. Welcome back to Dumela, Botswana, your breakfast show. Re tsoga jalo re bua ka tsone tsa the DBS Road Show. Remember re tsamaile le hatse ka bophara re itebagantse le go batla talente ya badiragatsi banana ba ile gore ba go tshwaretse sengwe a ke mmino a ke poko a ke go kwala. We have it all. And this morning we are getting an update. La hello re bua re ne le gore re heditse ka road show ya no re tsena mo go batleng ene top 30. What has happened since then? That is what we want to find out from the DBS Roadshow coordinator, Ubido Helagote Bufelo Kaudi. Good morning, Mr. K. How's it going?
Melama.
Eh, wait to takaletsa pahela ya motho e leng gore o busy.
A go robala ma re mo boot camp kana ga ba le mo boot camp ya le rena ra wore le mo teng ra worna le bone re go ga le bone go ithella swa go helo
jano wa go re simolle gone ho gore boot camp e gorogile re tsere banana ba le kahe ba boot camp ya rona. What are we doing, where are we doing it? Re ga re lehela the logistics of the boot camp.
Ke a leboga ile ka sa tarta se se hitilens re ne bana ba goroga go tswa khutong ne tsa lehatsi ba leng gore maloba ke ne ke ntse ke le ha ke bua gore re tsama mo ra ba bata go parologanya ano re na le bone ba masoma amane o ka re ke ba diragatsi ba le masoma amane mme bone ba le masoma amane le bongwe ka gore mo teng go na le stopper sa ba le babedi so ba bangwe ke ba pelang ka sengwe ka sengwe because ne re bata more ka top 40 ba ka re ba bangwe ke group ba hela ba le 41 mme ile a re maabane mo mosong ka la tshipi ba go rogile ka sa tartaga ra bo re ba simotse ka workshop tsa di life skill re na le ba bo cosbots ba ba ruta ba ba tlhalosa gore cosbots keng re na le ba ba harogane ba ba irang di music video ba ba tlhalosa gore go diragalang input artistic botlhokwa sengwe le sengwe le ba bangwe ba ne ba ba ruta ka tsa mmino the music business ya ga ke nna ke bua ka nako entsi people especially artists bone ba rata thata hela ka go opela go tsena mo studio ba gatise ba go stage me ba sa itse gore ha garega ka ha mara go dira
mo studio e tsene mo CD e tsene mo shopong ke bokae go iragalang go rekisitsweng
le go ipapatsa jalo me mo mosong wa go impiekwana ra go tswalla ka lone ka legato la bobedi ka motsatsing la bobedi re tsweletse yone ka borna le ba ba tswang ka kwana go DBS ba ba ruta re moopelo tiswa yang tiro tsa bone tiswa mo television di quality ba dira ka tselentseng jang
e tshwaretse ka boot camp a ba mo ga borone a ke dio tse leng gore gongwe ke sephiri ha ra tshwanna go ba bona
magala tshwanna go ba bona ba tshwanna go le bona re tshwaretse go gongone mo ga borone
all right se sengwe ke gone gore re botse gore re solohela gore bana ba ha ba le 40 yana kana ba diragatsi ba ha ba le 40 yana ha ba tswa mo boot camp go a go iragalang ka more a ra cut down a re selecta a winner. What's next after this?
Maiso ya ke go bolela ke gore mo phirmane ya go mpie go ya bore tsena mo le gato le leng gore se ka tsheko di a simologa me tare phakela mongwe le mongwe ba itse gore slepe sa magagane se ra se loza riana e tare phakela ka la boraro ba le masome a mabedi ba tshwara di ba se ba boela go magae ba boela go marago 20 ka boetsa ba be re sala ka 20 ye nngwe eneo be re a go tsama ra go ela go tsama 15 moraga malatsi a mangwe a mabedi bo go sala ba le batlhano so ba le batlhano ba ke bone ba go re ba tshwere ba ile gore ba go ya go ka boditse le a le gore ke one go rang go ntsha mampudi go go bone
tla re ga re le jalo ka go gakolola motho gore gone mme mampudi ene motho o to go tswa a go te ke ene the DBS road show winner wa go tswa kae
so wa go tswa ikgapela koloi ya le brand new box Polo Vivo 1.4
wow
wa go ikgapela airtime ya 100,000 mo DBS ya go advertise mo TV kana mo radio wa go ikgapela kontraka ya ngwaga ya go apesiwa ke kompone ya la malwa leto clothing mo apesa ngwaga ra go mamote record deal ya ngwaga mo ile go ra go netatsa gore ra mo gatisetsa bebile le rena ba leng gore ra mo manager go netatsa gore o tsama sente tiro a go etsa ma professional for sebaka sa ngwaga.
Absolutely, always a pleasure having you in studio. Ke a itse rona o ntlela ka dikgang tse go ka teng di juicy re kgaudi. Thank you so much for joining me and good luck. Ke batla go bona gore 20 e tla salang e tla nna bo mang le gone gore ha re setse re nna 15 yaanong e tla bele which talents, which young people. The DBS Roadshow is continuing. We're at boot camp stage. Ba teng mo ga borone ba biditswe ko ba nnang teng ba tle go kopanela gone go ipaakanyetsa yone sanyo ye leng gore e tla ya talente ya badiragatsi through the DBS Roadshow. We will keep you up to date with everything that's going on because we have him on speed dial. Rebufelo Kaudi, he is the DBS coordinator. And that's it from me. I'm going to go grab my brother Ben. He's got an interesting conversation to have with you. He's got a book review.
ya tswela jalo thulaganya gago ya Dumela Botswana the breakfast show tekele bre jalo bo kgaitsera ke me ga mmogo le LB gore ba la jalo gore tsa metshameko di tsamaile ka tseleng tse mo mafelong a beke a re tswa mo gona mme go ra jalo gone gore puisano ya rona ya nthama mosong wa gompie ko ya simologa mme jaaka ke bile gore ke nagano le Tebogo nya tota ke a bobedi ka gore re jalo ra go bankanyetsa jalo ba DBS mme ke tsa ke ro ba ikutetse gone gore ba go tshwaretse on the boot camp mme ya bobedi ya tswela gone gore ke nagano le Tebogo Nyati ene ile mokwadi wa buka e reng Threats of Broken Bonds ha re simolola go jalo gore ke bukele gore I fell in love with it precisely ka rona se mokwadi o tsamaile a dirala le dikgwetho gone gore gantsi kana le motho ipela gore hey I'm going through a lot let alone ga o itse gore mme ditori tsa gago tsone actually way less than what somebody else is going through. Me I am honored to be having this lady next to me gore a belo jalo gore Threats of Broken Bonds yone itile jang le gone tsa makatseleng. Good morning Manyati.
Good morning Bernard.
How are you?
I'm good.
You look absolutely stunning. I think you said you're about to be 50 and you look this ravishing. I think, what's the secret to looking this beautiful?
I'm already 50.
You're already 50. What's the secret to you looking this beautiful? But it's a pleasure to have you here. Just grace, right?
Yeah.
For somebody who doesn't know you, who have been seeing you a lot lately on social media, probably because your book is out there in the shelves. How did she even get into this business of writing books or being an author?
Yes, thank you very much for having me, Bernard. My name is Tebogo Nyati. And I'm the author of Threats of Broken Bonds.
Right.
That's my new baby, and I'm excited about her. Yes, I started writing this book sometime last November. I was excited about my forthcoming 50th birthday.
Right.
And, you know, it felt like I had come full swing.
Right.
With experiences of my life, you know, my journey and all that. So I was ready to pour it out there. I was pregnant with insights at the time, and I thought I'll give myself such a gift for my birthday.
Right. So it was more of a gift. And actually, when reading it, I realized that you are so excited to be 50. Now that you are in it, you realize that there's more to life than just being 50.
Yes.
Let's talk about this. You shared a lot in this book. So much that when I read it, I here and there got emotional, to be honest, and realized that people go through a lot and they're expected to look okay. Because sometimes when you look okay, you are telling people that I am okay, what you are doing inside. Writing your personal experiences and knowing that they'll be out there for the public to consume and most probably judge you in some instances. How was it easy or how difficult was it for you to come up from the manuscript to now having a final product? Navigate us through the process. Was it easy, was it not? Or even where you got the strength to end up reaching the finish line?
Well, You know, when you write a memoir, it's really supposed to be an easy thing.
Yes.
Because you don't do much research.
Exactly.
You don't have to look for opinions from other people and so on and so forth. It's really supposed to be easy. But I encountered some challenges, you know, which I didn't expect. I had to deal with issues of vulnerability. You know, I didn't know how much or to what extent I could, you know, just lay it bare out there for the public to know. I had to deal with issues of trying to balance my truth with privacy, especially the privacy of other people. Yes, especially the privacy of other people. You know, you want to say your truth, you know your story. This is your side of the story, by the way. But then there are other people, because we know, you know, I'm talking about connections. Your story is your story because of other people who are a part of it. So now I had to really consider the privacy of other people so that I do not infringe in other people's spaces. So I needed a balance so that it does not, at the end of the day, compromise the truth of my story.
Right.
And lastly, but not least, I do have many challenges that I went through, but just to say this one. You know, there was an issue of releasing my control. You know, I felt like some part of me has been taken away from me. You know, your story is something dear to your heart. You speak from your heart when you tell your story.
Right.
So that's the journey that I was in. I felt like, you know, it's something valuable. It was sacred in a way. And letting it go like that, not knowing how it's going to fall, where it's going to fall, on whose hands, on whose heart, and so on and so forth. So it was a bit of a challenge. But fortunately, I found that my sense of purpose for writing was much stronger than my fears. So I was able to do it because I thought I'm doing it in solidarity with people like yourself. As you mentioned, I had to be there for people so that they know that, you know, you can get through anything. Any dark patch in your road, in your path, is temporary.
Oh, I'm going to keep on stressing how much I love this book, but for somebody who hasn't read it or ever opportunity to know about it, okay, let's say from the first page until the 196th page. Okay, let's say from how you've written your story. What should be the takeaway from somebody who's reading it now or wanting to read it and say, "It's okay, Metebo has just given me this, and I'll run with it for the rest of my life."
Yes, Bernard, you know, this book is so embedded with a whole variety of themes. So here you're going to find, you know, something to inspire you in your journey as you go through, whether it's, you know, broken connections, as it were, broken connections. You know that after it, you can experience some resilience. You go through loss, through death, maybe, you know, process of grieving and all that. You can expect that in your moments of solitude, there's something beautiful and powerful to come out of that. You know, most of your ministry, your purpose and your everything, you realize that you come to its realization within your moments of solitude. So, you know, whether it's a demise of a marriage or anything like that, you get to know that, no, there's nothing that you can't get through, and, you know, you'll make it through. You'll make it through.
Love it.
So this book is actually, that's how I coined the slogan, "Insights from the hindsight, inspiring your foresight." This is to say, everything you've been through, you can pick up a lesson from it. And then you can
and that's actually, you stressed about it a lot, that everything happens for a reason, more like it.
It's so important to view life in that, from that angle, you know. So you can get through it, and then it can be something you'll use to map your way forward. Then you can, you know, as I wrote this book in my 50s, So now I feel like I'm standing on a pinnacle.
Right.
Something like that. And I look behind me, I can see, and everything suddenly makes a lot of sense. And I look ahead of me, I see a lot of beauty unfolding. Because of the brokenness, now I see the brand that is coming ahead of me in form of this, the ministry that is coming up out of this
Right.
book.
Let me ask you this one. You've had 2 beautiful relationships in terms of the first one, the second one, and most probably the third one. But as I read it, I hoped and we said, God, why didn't you give Manyati this man who passed on before the one for divorce? You know, I asked myself this question because I wanted that beautiful marriage that lasted 14 months to last the 10 years that you didn't enjoy the second marriage.
Yes.
And I'm here wondering, how does it happen that you get married 14 months, your spouse passes on, and then God gives you this one who doesn't see things with you as much as you'd hope for? Why not at least give you this man for 10 years and at least, God forbid, passes on after you've enjoyed this long time together? Tell me how you've dealt with losing the man you thought was the love of your life.
Yes, and I'm thankful that I came out strong out of that.
Yes.
Because then I knew that, or where I stand, I now know that the people who walk the path or this road with you in your journey of life, sometimes in your mind, you envision that both of you will reach the destination, only to find that it was never meant to be like that. But the little time, it doesn't matter how much time it was that you spent with them, it's worth it. It was worth it. It worked. It is going to work for good. It will just gel along with the rest of your story, the story of your life. So it was a difficult one. It was a difficult one, but I'm so glad that you picked on it because it's actually the highlight of my whole story. Because it is from that incident that I came out a different person. You see, when I said that it is in your moments of solitude that you become a different person. You discover
who you really are.
Who you really are. You discover your purpose. You learn a lot of things. So, just a short one is there in the book that you see. There's an analogy from the Bible about a corn of wheat that is supposed to fall to the ground, die, be buried, for it to be able to flourish and come back and multiply.
Right.
So there's an interesting principle in life that is also a paradox that says that, you know, life in most cases needs to be preceded by death.
Right.
That is to say, whatever it is that you die to, whether it's pain, whether it's challenges or what, you'll always come strong, you'll become better, you know, just to say better things are waiting.
Yes. You know, in every project that we do as individuals, there has to be a support system. I know you mentioned your mom, your aunt, and your 3 beautiful kids. What did that support mean to you, and how exactly did they give you that support?
Woo. The support from my kids was massive.
In fact, actually, they also took, they're also part of the storytelling because they actually more of the constituents just after you actually that with these 3 kids, both about who listening just as you reached your 50 now.
Oh, it's so much. It's so much. We needed the whole day for me to talk about it. That very book, the cover and everything, the design, my kids, everything you see on social media, my kids. The support has been massive. You know, they fall and fit very well in the theme, threads of broken bonds, because they are the threads that now are being woven daily to make this beautiful tapestry that you see today.
Right now.
This woman that you see today, it's all about what they have contributed. Knowingly and unknowingly, they've contributed so much into making me the person that I am. And I believe I'm a better person for the world just because I know I have them. I have to be there for them. They are looking at me every step of my way, and I need to inspire them in some way. That is why this book is a legacy that I want to leave, and I want my daughters especially to learn from it, so that they don't have to fall into the same pits that I fell into.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh. Menyati, I'm so sad that I didn't get to ask you so many questions, but as you know, I think you should actually give us your last words in regards to it's World Book and Copyright Day. In just 40 seconds, what message do you have as your last words, and just the encouragement is it right? Kana the widows.
Yeah,
widows. Kita kira you can ukaba hajalo mahago nyala tse gore nyami baska be thoba ya ga ditse gore rama sedi hanjala thaope.
Oh yes. Everybody has a story. That's my last word. Everybody has a story, and you'll be surprised to learn how, you know, there's room enough for every one of us to be there in the world and inspire the next person to you. So writing is one way of doing this. I can encourage people out there to do it. It feels very good to have a baby like this one, you know, the birth of all your experiences and insights and everything. You know, and as you do this, it's going to go a long way inspiring somebody. You are touching lives in a way. So, yeah, thank you very much.
It was such an honor to have you sitting next to me. I would like to wish you the best of luck in everything that you do. And I also hope that you'll be here back soon for your second book, just sharing the wisdom that you have with the rest of the country. Thank you very much.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much, Bernard. Thank you very much.
Threads of Broken Threads. Broken Bones. Richardson, tsela gompieko ile ka yone teme ya Setswana.
Thulaganya Dumela breakfast show e ba gape tswelela mere mo karolong ya bobedi ya tsa metshameko ile gore tle ruba di kgantshona tsa badminton ga ke ne ke go bolela ne bana yalo le tournament ya loka mafelo a beki yone ile ya UB Open metla mo tsela ka mosego ngata tsa mantse re bolela gona gore e tsamela ka challenge mo tsela gompieno le re focus ala gona gore the president wa emela wa ko China go ileng gore wa go sana la teng phutego kgolo ya le khotla lone le ile la badminton mix tsa makentse kana le ha motho ba thubi go tla go gona gore re ka solhela eng ko phuthegong le gore ene so fa hela junior ga go etsa makatselentse jang gona ya ka ko badminton tla se ba se ke khomkhele ya lo re ba dubi.
Thank you so much.
Usian go la tsoga ko badminton
re tsogile hela thata botsogo ke jo bona metsang
in terms of the competition le the calendar ya lona go tsamaya
as we may be aware, we just recently began the new financial year, and the event it's a calendar di sa tswa go simolola. Jaaka no bua rightfully just this weekend the UB Open Badminton Championship, and there's several other events tse leng gore di mo calendar of events en ya rona tse leng gore they'll be rolling out more monako isa hedi sempe.
Okay. Arabele alo mo sepelo a gago o tla boemela go China. Go eng go China ke eng se ka mantse re solela gona gore the discussion ya dio tse di harologaneng ya tsa mantse be ise mo go yone yalo a go the AGM ya lona.
I'm leaving to the city of Chengdu, China. Go ileng gore ke a go attend the annual general meetings. The first one being on the 25th. The Badminton Confederation of Africa. Just as African states, affiliated to badminton, will be interacting and coming up with ways of continuing to develop our sport further. And then on the 27th, AGM, we have the Badminton World Federation, where we'll now be engaging even further with all our global partners, with all member associations from the rest of the world.
Before the AGM, ebe gona ya lo le go go sama re lebela gore sentlentle rona re le mo Africa ya lo sama re tshungwa king ga re bile ya tsone khanselo tsa badminton ga re simolala mo ga mono hela ga khathela go Botswana le itemogela eng ka kholo ya badminton ke eng se tsama re se shota yalo mono gae
tota jaaka o bua rightfully so. There are a number of concerns and some of them being particularly affecting African countries. Badminton ordinarily is an indoor sport, And there's a huge shortage when it comes to indoor facilities that meet the standard or the international standard e leng gore e setilwe. Jaanong ke one mangwe a matshwenyego a rona as African countries. It's not only unique to rona kwano re le Botswana. And tota coming up with initiatives such as air badminton, which we were launching last year, e leng gore yone now allows for more outdoor play, interactive play, social play. Ke one mangwe a maano e leng gore at these meetings go discussiwa yone di plan tseo le di rollout tsa tsone. We also have a huge challenge when it comes to equipment e leng gore is needed for badminton, especially in this current scenario e re na leng yone e leng gore gongwe school sports se santse se. And I'm happy to report that just as early as recent as last week, ne re sa tswa go amogela jalo a consignment from the Badminton World Federation in partnership with the Azerbaijan Badminton Federation. E le gore ne ba romeletse yalo equipment e leng gore ba re donate kwano equipment to the brand new equipment valued at around 150,000 pula. E leng gore le one reta mo malatsi a sa edisempele reta bo re rolla officially e be re simolla go rolla out there to different parts of the country. So these are some of the discussions that we are having behind at these very important meetings, because at also this meeting we'll also be engaging with some of the partners, the equipment manufacturers. They'll be there interacting with us, trying to find out how best they can assist us in terms of continuing to develop the sport further.
Har sama re bile yalo di event tse di harolganeng go sama go ntse mongwe le mongwe gona na bua la ka Paris 2024 na re badminton yone ga e mo di game tsa the Olympic.
Badminton is an Olympic sport. We will be Ronayanong, unfortunately, harena di athletes or di qualified, but we will be partaking there as Botswana Badminton Association because we have two of our court officials, invited go officiate at those games. Rather, ba appointile go officiate at those games. Renale re go thata Mudigela, who has been appointed to officiate at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, as well as Re Emmanuel Kabuitsile. He will be officiating at the Paralympics.
Speaking about empires, are some rebel yalo mo gae gona gore kana mo Africa ga o sama o libile ka mkhwele gore ba performa ka thinking so sama ntsusi yalo ka di empire tsa rona.
The empire tsa rona are world class. They are world class. That is why we continue to see more and more of them being given these international assignments. I believe as Botswana we are number 2 in the African continent in terms of the number of officials that we have. They are Badminton Confederation of Africa certified, as well as some of them even to a point where they are Badminton World Federation accredited. So tota we are doing exceptionally well. The officiating aspect is also quite important to our sport, and there is a huge investment that we've equally placed on making sure that they meet the international requirements, which allows them to be allocated more and more international assignments.
This AGM ante kana ha nna teng go ne gona le ene hitile le tsere di khanding mo hago gore le tla tsamaya lentse la go berekela thata ya mo go tsona re se mere lebeletse no di khantsone tsa mohuta ono gore the last AGM ke eng se ne se discuss ya se gore this AGM le tsamaya lentse gongwe go tile ga okay lona le mahase tsamaya le go discuss this hebeletla yalo le ka di solution tsa ka tsamaya re tsire dira yalo go ne thatsa le gona gore there is growth mo Africa.
The khandi di malwa tse leng gore go ne go itibagantswa le tsone at the previous AGMs, not only just the most recent one. Me hela mo go eng kopile maikelo ke gona gore go tswelle go ntse go itibagangwa le the issues as and when they come ka gore ditshwetso di a go tsewa now as a collective. Rona we will have our opinion on certain issues. Me hela at the end of the day the decisions have to be made, and they can be made as a collective, really the general members to the AGM.
Gonne ha o tsama o lebile yalo o buile la gona gore ya go sama enela mo magatong kana mo makgethametso ya Africa le leng gore tle be gona yalo le ya le ha selo ka bophara ha o tsama o lebile yalo ka mokgwele gona gore badminton e performa ka teng yalo go mahatsheng a mangwe e seng yalo mo Africa again se leng gore ka re ka selena yalo from them se tsa makana ra ka ba nya moro eng mo dikganyeng tsone tsene tse di harologaneng re bile tsone tsa badminton.
Tota, when we are talking of professionalizing the sport, that is something that we noticed those in the rest of the world doing exceptionally well. They have their players by Longhorobone that are currently they're always on the international circuit tour. Week in, week out, their players are engaged in activities. Me, they have a lot of now financial resources to back them up. Our players, especially from the African continent, ba khona go compete yalo in those international tournaments week in, week out. And it is at these meetings that discussions, ideas are shared, as well as resources are shared. Ya ka utlwane ke sa tswa go bua gore le hatsialo la Azerbaijan ke nela ya through our engagements with them re nna re ba bontsha gore this is where we are lacking in terms of equipment. Then we ended up coming up with this partnership equipment to the value of 150,000 from them. Will really go a long way in also helping us develop to reach some of those standards.
How bua ka do official Canadian Empire tsena go tsama dintsi dia go ya go tso Olympic go bile ka diphara re ha ka ya lo re le hatsela Botswana gongwe ha re tsama re le bile ya lo kgolo ya bone bana le bogole ya lo mo samkong on wa badminton le gona gore le ba include ka tselentseng jang mo sporting salona ya lo mono gae.
Okay. Para badminton ke sengwe se leng gore was recently launched in the not so distant past. It's still fairly new, and le rona ka kwano mo ngwageng o no sa tswa go hetao re receive our first consignment dealing gore ke equipment dealing gore has been specifically made for dealing gore ba tshela jalo le bogole mme ke sengwe se leng gore re gatela ko pele maikelo a rona ke gona go tswella re ntse ano re le ka go atolosa through our development program yalo ya shuttle time re nna re le ka gone gore re ikgolaganye gape le bao ba ileng gore ba tshela le bogole gore re le bone re ba le motsaka ka boleng teng ja para badminton le gore ba ka kgona go ikgolaganya le rona jang. There's different assessment tournaments that are conducted tse leng gore ba inviteiwa gore re ka ba isa teng gore ba kgone go gradeiwa and start competing. So ke sengwe se leng gore gongwe mona kwa gompieno ga re ise re nne le rollout ya one sente ka gore re santse re metse gore re accumulate le tsone di resources tse leng gore di ka kgona gore di ba thuse gore ba tshameke botoka mme as soon as we are happy with progress dealing in terms of gathering enough equipment to make sure that they can play and play safely, then we will be officially rolling it out nationwide. Mehela, in terms of working towards that, in terms of rolling it out to the people and making sure that they are aware it is there and it's something that they can partake in, we are making strides with that.
The introduction in ka 2020 roll out go Uganda ka kwa na go include ya lo mo di Olympics tsone tsa 2020 tsa di Paralympics ke gone ya ka ile go tsamantse roll out how le bilalo in Africa where are we rantsa Botswana hela moteng where are we in terms of gona gore re romele ya lo ba tshameki go di gaisana tsone tsa mohuta one ya ka le gore tle be dintse di teng ya lo this year
mo ngwageng mo totally mo ngwageng no sa tswa go hetao. I believe there is only one tournament being hosted in Africa of an international standard para badminton. That is the Uganda International, as you are rightfully saying, in 2020, that is where the tournament was as well. And I believe it was sometime in late January in Uganda that tournament. The rollout, we are still at the teething stage. It was just recently made. an Olympic sport. Mihela, we are seeing our players from the African continent also competing, getting very good results when they're competing against their counterparts from the international stage.
Every time ha go bua ka sport re bua ka development ke ngwe le gore ke itse gore ha go tsama go nna ya lutsuneng di AGM a sengwe sa gore melwana thata ya lo mo go sone in terms of development re ha ka e rona re le hatsela Botswana re le hatsela Africa and ra go direng ra go kopa thuso e ntseng ka tselentseng jang gone mo di AGM tsona tsa mago tsa mhutono gore le bone ba re thuse ya lo gore re go di sia lo mo tshamko go swela ka komoding.
Development, there is nothing that we cannot talk of a future of anything without those that are coming behind us. So total development is something that we as Botswana Badminton Association, as well as the African continent and as well as the BWF, very much appreciate for development is a priority. At these AGMs, ke gona ka ke bua gore re itebaganya thata le go baakanyetsa in the future to ensure that bao ba ileng gore ba santse ba tla ko morago ba go ithela gona le sengwe se ileng gore is tangible, se setse se beilwe in place, and they continue to advance the sport forward. Re setse re buile ka gore there are challenges, particularly when we are talking of resources. Resources, be it equipment, be it financial resources. One of the motions that's on the table at this upcoming AGM, ke gore re nele the BWF, the Badminton Federation, data ya gore e forme another entity, a corporate entity, e leng gore e tebagantsa thata le gone gore e focus ka go development aspecting ya sport sa rona, mme gape e tebagantse le gone gore e pull resources together, e pull financial resources, e pull equipment resources, gone gore e kgone go capacitate our development structures.
Go felong ha re kgaogana nako ke ha ke se gore keng se batlang gore tlogela ka sone re bile yalo motshamekone wa badminton yalo mono ga ile ya ka o tsamantse emela go ile ko China.
Nya tota ke go itsisi barati ba rotwetsi ba badminton gore events are coming. Dia ka ke bua gore we just recently started the new financial year leng gore le mo go one mehela di event tsone di setse di simolotse. When we are talking of development rights or ne ra amiwa ke go sanneng teng ga school sport, but also with the tournament is a chunk for weekend, we saw yellow for the first time in quite some time. Renale category long lebone baba sanzembale bale babotana. We had players as young as 6 years old. So we are really trying to tap into that market, and we are really thankful for the parents by Longkore. They saw it fit from their own pockets by finance their children to come and bear witness to the sport, come and see the standard gore it's a mahaka ile bone ba khone go iletsa go ipona ba gorogile to those standards in the future.
In 10 seconds, King, what's a maling the AGM ya go tsala ba khanele kae?
Okay, I leave this evening and I will be back in the country on the 30th of April.
All right, tlaketse so ka se ke go ele le tsala masole matlhogonolo ke re mosepelo o wa ga gonne o wele ya tsana ke tsana se gone o si. All right, ke mo go tsamantse re digela ka tsamotse le hele la gompieno ne re bua ya lo dikgantsho tsa tsa badminton na ka re ne re bua gone hale mo tsa tsele ba dubi ya ka emela ya gone go China yalo this evening go tsenela yalo the AGM hene hele ya badminton ne tsela gompieno re demisa gone until we meet again tomorrow. Ke bua ke mena o se femo game.
Welcome back to Dumela, Botswana, the breakfast show. I am very, very excited aka puisanyo ya rona ya bobedi ya mo mosong wa gompieno. Re tsile go bua ka tseo tsa retirement. That is nako ya go tlogela tiro. When you stop having to be at work at 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. every single week because you've come to that age where rest is your #1 responsibility. And I'm sitting down with somebody who knows very much about what to expect expect when you enter retirement? I am with Samantha Matlagela, and she's going to be telling us a little bit about motho ha ile gore o tsena mo retirement kana sena na tlogela tiro re le ba lelapa re ka mo thusa jang le ene, how do they find their purpose outside of the workplace? Because many of us, Samantha, have identified ourselves with our work. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, LB. Thank you for having me.
I'm very, very eager to have this conversation because of it, as a child, the older you get, or as a daughter, the older you get, you realize, yeah, my parents are also aging. And that means at some point, I will be the primary caregiver. I will be responsible for making sure that their things are in order. And that comes with retirement as well.
Absolutely.
Talk to me about this. What is it that you do, and where does retirement come into that?
Okay. Just starting by introducing myself, I am Samantha Matlagela from the etiquette class. The etiquette class offers services such as your personal development, your mindset change, etiquette and protocol, and everything else that builds a person. We deal with building a whole person and their well-being. That's from the working class, family life, and retirement, because you start somewhere. I can have the and then you go to school, enter the work world, then retirement comes in. So we deal with all these things that build a person to be whole and well. Yes.
Very, very interesting. Now, one of the things that I'm sure, and I think I worry about it every time I think about retirement, it's that feeling, like I was saying, relevancy. I identify as Leboa Morueng, the television presenter, the radio presenter, this and that, and all these achievements, the degree holder, and what they have to do with my work. And it's easy to lose your purpose once you leave that environment. Talk to me about, like, what is your advice for people who are approaching retirement or are in retirement and they feel, I don't know what my purpose is beyond my work?
I don't want to tie it down to people who are about to retire or who are already retired, but to everybody who's in the workplace.
Of course.
For me, one of the things that I always ask my clients is, who are you? If we are to take all the titles out, the title of being a manager at work, being a radio presenter, being a wife, being a mom, who are you? Because the minute you understand who you are, that's when you are able to find out what resonates with you as an individual, what you love, what your interests are, what your passions are, because from there, you are not tying it to your work, to your job, to your responsibilities as a wife or as a mom. So it's very important first to start with understanding
who I am,
who you are
outside of my rules,
outside of your rules. Because the minute you understand that, it helps you to transition. Even when you wake up going to work, you know you have a passion, you know you have a love for something. It could be gardening, it could be baking. Say once you can, transition into that.
I love that you're touching on that. I often think of the time passing because you're so used to go. Every day, lunch 1 hour, and then after that, you have there's places you have to be. And I always imagine that in retirement, that stops. There's nowhere you have to be. You determine your time, you determine how you pass it. How do I stop myself from getting bored and twiddling my thumbs?
Retirement, I could say it's a bittersweet experience. Firstly, sweet because you know you are in control of your time, you know there are no deadlines, there's no boss demanding this.
You don't have to interact with anyone you don't want to interact with.
But at the same time, it's a bitter experience because, like you are saying, I've been going to work all the 30 or 40 years of my life. But here I am today, I wake up, people are gone, I'm here. What do I do? What do I do? It takes us back to Who am I? What do I like? You know?
Right.
And these are the things that you need to start planning even before you retire.
Right.
Yeah. I always say it's important to go to work and give it your 100%. So that when you walk outside the office going home, you know you have closed the work chapter and now you get to yourself
Could
and
have
your
given
hobbies.
myself. Ke
Emma.
heditse, ke dirile. Jaanong ha ke a lapeng,
Ke
ha gona-
bereka nna ke ya tiro ke be ka mose ke a tsoga ke ya ko go yone. So now when you get to retirement, you give yourself, let's say, a month or two or whatever time that you feel suits you to relax and unwind and take out the energy at the workplace and then also plan how your days are going to be like. Remember that even if you are no longer at the workplace, you still have skills, you still have experience, you have the expertise. There is just so much that
You still have the
can
passion.
do. Yes.
Yes.
Go back to even taking a notebook. I'm a writer. I'm a reader. So writing will always do the magic. Take a paper or your notebook. Just write down the things that you wish you could do. Believe me, there's power in putting down the things that you love or the things that you want to
On
do.
paper.
Because if you have it on paper, then you know you can always take or find a way in which you can maneuver through your plan.
Discovering it, yeah.
Discovering. And I want to take retirement as something that people must embrace. Like
Don't be
changing
afraid
jobs.
of it,
Hey,
yeah.
It's like changing jobs. You have closed that chapter of going to work. Now it's a new chapter altogether that allows you now to explore and experience and learn new things. And there's so much that retirees can do. It's not just about going to Masimo and Moraka.
Exactly.
Yes.
And speaking of which, how do I know? Ke bona yang gore nya mo gone e ka tswa ile passion ya me. This is something that in my adult years ke santse ke batla go se dira, ke batla go tswelela ka sone, ke batla go explore gore a gone me go baker go tshasa di icing mo, does it really fulfill me?
Ke batla go dumela gore rothe wena leboa, we have that feeling in us when you do something. Whether you are 5 years old, 12 years old, 30, 40, 50, when you do something, there's a feeling of fulfillment that you get.
Right.
So that feeling, we need to trust how we feel about the activities that we engage in. You will know right from the start that this is not for me, or I could give this a try. I'll tell you something. There's a lady, I would say a friend, though she's a much older woman.
Right.
I'm friends with oldies. And guess what? This lady learned swimming when she was 62.
Wow.
Like 62, while our 30-year-olds, our 40 are still scared. And even after her retirement, she went to do flower arrangement, you know. So now it's a service that she offers as gifts, you know. And she's happy. She's happy. It doesn't have to be about going to work, but about finding something that will keep you busy as well as help you make money and keep you occupied.
Happy, yeah. I love that advice. Try new things as well.
Try new things as
If you're just joining us, I am having a conversation with Samantha Matlagela. She is from the etiquette class where they teach people holistic self-development and they work with you through it. Sengwe se leng gore kana bangwe ba leng gore ba berekisana le bone ke batho ba leng gore ba tebagantse kana ba tsamaela go tlogela ditiro kana ba tlogetse ditiro. And she's just giving us advice on how to approach retirement and what are some tips that you should be looking at when you are reaching retirement age or as you enjoy your retirement. Remind me this now. Obviously you've got a family, you're a mom, you've got these roles, and when you, like you were saying, and you're at home, how is their support necessary? How does my children help me go through the transition of retirement, my husband, my family members, and all the people around me?
Let me say both my parents are retired, both
Right.
my dad and my mom. They stay in Sorowe and the kids are here in Gaborone and Joburg. But we do engage them. Before I came for the interview, I had to have a conversation with them to say, how is your retirement life? What's stressing you? What can work for you? What do you like? What difficulty? Because as their children, you also have a responsibility to help them transition into retirement, you know, and also help them understand or discover who they are. Because, you know, sometimes as a child, you can see that your parent is very interested in 1, 2, 3, but they may not necessarily see it themselves.
Right.
So we have a responsibility of saying, Mom, why don't you try 1, 2, 3? Dad.
Right.
And I must say, they are active. My mom just retired, maybe, is it 3 years ago?
Right.
I think she's still trying to
figure out retirement.
But my dad is very active. My
Right.
dad is very active, volunteering here and there, being a board member here and there, you know, just doing stuff because he has the experience, he has the expertise, and he can just
sit down with it.
Plus also, the world has changed in that for you to work or progress, you don't necessarily have to get out of your house.
Yeah.
For as long as you have internet.
You have a computer.
You have a computer.
You can work.
And you have your phone.
Yeah.
You can work.
I really love that.
We have a responsibility of saying, when I was 5 years old, you used to bake pineapple upside down, and we loved it. Why don't you?
Why did you stop?
I she stopped because but now she has all the time in the world. She must go back to baking those pineapple upside down.
And we can enjoy them.
And we can enjoy them. And she can also sell them.
Right.
Or teach people how to make them.
I
you know?
love that.
Yeah, there is just so much that they can do. We as the kids need to really help, you know, have honest conversations with our parents and really see how they can help. Even if it means them taking care of our kids, sometimes we take it for granted that but there's a lot more that we can do. How can I support you to help me raise my kids? What do I need to do? Part of the retirement package comes with enjoying your grandma. Yes.
Oh, I love it. I think this is very useful advice on how to transition and how to manage the transition, because it must be a very difficult season to get used to. Now, talk to me about this. You've spoken a little bit about activity, but we haven't spoken about activity in the physical sense. You know, retirement, which means this particular stage comes with things like illness and things like and that can affect your transition into retirement, and that can be the reason why you're going into retirement. How do we help those who are maybe under the weather, who are ill, who are living with conditions that are affecting their ability to be active?
You know, it's a very good point to bring up. And I'll still go back to, you know, advising people to start some of these habits while they're still at work.
Yeah.
Like exercising, like eating right. Because we all know food is medicine. Most of the ailments or diseases that we have is because of our lifestyles or our diets.
Exactly.
So I'll still say, exercise. It doesn't necessarily paying gym membership. Just taking a walk every morning, every evening, being active in your garden, and also mind exercise, reading, you know.
Crossword puzzle.
Board game, bo Monopoly, bo Scrabble. Those are things banana. This is the time that they have to do those things, to exercise their minds as well. And then the other thing that I would stress is for family to because I believe love heals everything. When you feel loved, whatever worries, because most of the time they end up getting sick or depressed or because
there's no love.
There's no love or there's nothing that fills that space. So if you love them, if you advise on how to exercise, how to eat right, then
take them with you.
Take them with you. Like every morning they go walking or evening they would go walking, and I'm like, when I grow up, I want to be like this too. So it's very important that true, find ways of exercising. It doesn't necessarily mean having to stand up walk. The exercises you can just do sitting, right, just to get your blood flowing. Just stretching, because hape gonna hela o sa dire sepele gone gona le di-effect tsa gone ditlamorago mo mmeleng wa gago, kgona go hella o sa tsamaye, o kgona go hella mabogo a sa kgone go suta. So just doing those little stretches, walking, gardening, even ditiro tsa mo lapeng hela kana that's ebile o kgona go ithelela gore you exercise more,
doing the dishes, mopping,
gardening, watering. So it's important that ga go ithobo go go nyawo wa lwala ga gona re ka mothusa ya no. We love them, and by loving them, you'll do everything right.
I am thoroughly happy to end on that point. What a wonderful thing to say. Love your elders, love your parents as they grow older. Give them the love that they need to keep them going, to keep them passionate, to keep them alive, and to keep them young. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I love this one. As you prepare for retirement, the advice that we have for you is keep active, keep reading, and practice now while you're still at work as you prepare for the day you retire. It has been a pleasure talking to you about retirement. Let me go grab my brother Bernard as we say goodbye on Dumela, Botswana.
On that note, I think the conversation was powerful and inspiring. I think it's a conversation that every person should have. Because so the culture is you are 55, you are in a financial mess, you don't even have a purpose to live because you think it was all you need to do. Kanti, you have 20 more years to live after work. What are you going to do? Absolutely nothing. And that's why I know there was a conversation when somebody says depression and I'm thinking, what have you been doing for the past 40 years? Well, I wasn't already depressed at this time. But I think it's actually an important conversation that employers need to give their employees. As
Samantha Matlagala was saying, I think it's important for people to get to know themselves at this point. To some extent, obviously you'll never fully know yourself, but it is a process where a lot more about Ben, then you know what Ben is capable of when Ben thrives. Then we and what passions you have that you might want to pursue as a retiree. I wish you all the best in retirement. I think it's such a beautiful time of transition. And it's beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful. But what was more beautiful, or what was also equally beautiful, was my guest here, Tebogonyati, who has had many broken relationships, but she has found a way out and she came out much stronger. She said in her book that we never arrive. Never think you've arrived, because you can actually learn each and every single day until you take your last breath. Like I said, I love this book from the minute I read it to the last. There's a lot that people go through, but what is important is what you've learned in everything that you've been through. And it made me realize that as much as I thought I've wasted my 8 years somewhere in my life, I realized that this was actually a lesson for me to become a better human being. So thank you very much to the author, Mete Bonyati, which means it's the end of our morning here in Dumela, Botswana. It's been a pleasure. It's been an absolute pleasure to wake up with you here this morning. See you tomorrow bright and early.
Good morning.
morning show is proudly brought to you by Botswana Post. Rise and shine.